Greetings and salutations, AW. It's Ahi back with another video. Now, before I start, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I know I did say one more day, or just this, um, handheld style, but I don't know why, but it's quite daunting to put up this whole setup and stuff. But just want to say happy day 19. This marks 3 whole months of being consistent with something. You know, what have I learned over these 90 days? Well, the first thing is that not a lot of people care what you do. That's mainly my favorite part. It Loki gave me a newer sight in life or newer viewpoints that I could do anything and nobody's really going to care. They could like just say, damn, what that kid did is embarrassing. No, shit a story at dinner time or when they sit down in the family and stuff. Sooner or later, they're gonna forget about it, whether they like it or not. And yeah, also, I'm the only person who cares what I look like. These are things that, ever since I'm using this as like a digital journal, more or less, that I picked up, it's just that nobody will really say, you have a slight stain on shit, or, you have a little bit of lint on your hoodie. They really don't care about that, man. No. Kind of help me think, okay, do I look good? I look good. Okay, let's go. Let's go then. And it just, it's quite a good thing. So, yeah. Is there anything else that I learned? That I was kind of stupid to have this whole, by the end of this, I want to have this, I want to have that kind of mentality. Because, one, it just really showed that I was driven by motivation rather than discipline in the beginning. So yeah, it's just kind of a good thing that I realized that the more I work on my discipline and have these small nuances that keep me disciplined, the more I realized that in the past I was low key like asphyxiated on motivation. Like I used to be a self motivation junkie. That's the best way I could say it. Which to anyone out there who relies on motivation, please stop. Unless your motivation is you waking up in the morning and being motivated that God gave you another day, that's your motivation. But those who rely on some Andrew Tate's, David Goggins edits for motivation, please stop, man. I never did that personally. It's just that these kind of videos, like how to change your life in 90 days or in a week, you know, that was the thing I was relying on the most. And after watching those videos, I just feel so pumped, full of energy, full of like tomorrow I'm gonna wake up at 5:30. I'm gonna crank out 15 push-ups, man. And then I wake up at like 12, thinking, the next day. I got it the next day, and yeah, just falling for the same cycle and cycle, which to anyone who's also stuck in that cycle, um, I've personally made it out of that cycle. So the rope I could give you that will pull you out of the hole is stop watching those kind of videos and just low key create your own form of discipline. What do I mean by that? Actually, let me actually set up these things. This like tripod thing. Give me a second. Okie dokie. I feel very up close and personal. But like, let me just shift that over there and just lean on this for a second. But hope I'm in frame now. But as I was saying, the rope I could give you guys to, you know, get out of there is to really create your own motivation and discipline. Now, what do I mean by create your own discipline? Find something that you do consistently throughout the day. For me, it's making these videos. Although it's not consistent at all, it's something I could always say I'm consistent with. Nowadays, no, and build up on that. Make sure it's something that's very small, doesn't take up most of your time. Do it for a week, see how it goes. If you feel like you could put more load onto it, add a little bit of more load. You don't have to say, this week I managed to be consistent with doing 10 squats. Why don't I do 30 squats now? No. Say, okay, let me bump it up to 11 or 12 squats and see how it goes from there. And you could build something onto it. Okay, after squats, I think I can do 4 pistol squats or 2 push-ups, whatever the case may be, right? And the more you decide to say to yourself, hey, I'm being consistent with this, let me put another thing other than that consistent thing onto it, right? You create this unconscious bond that, okay, I have to record my video. After that, I need to do 12 squats. After that, I need to make sure my clothes are prepared for the next day. After that, right? And you go into this autopilot kind of idea, then you build and build and build to the point where you even start to build before it. So you could say, I do my homework, I record a video, I do my squats, etc. Before I do my homework, I can make supper. Before supper, I could go and shoot some 3-pointers at the court. Before that, I can hang out with my friends. And just, it creates this unconscious bond to where you fill up your day with so much things that you're consistent with. To the point it feels like you don't have time to do all of these other things. You said, I should really stop with eating a bag of Lay's every day. You making yourself dinner. That dinner makes you full. You don't have room for snacks anymore. Bingo, you cut that thing off by building on top of it, An analogy I could use for this is a creeper, right, from Minecraft. It blows up behind you. You're like on a half heart, you heal up, you eat some bread or beef or some lamb chops or whatever. Then you say, okay, there's a hole here, aka your bad habit. What should I do to fix it? Okay, I'll go and turn, I forgot what it's called, but I'll get other blocks from the other areas. Terraform, thank you. I'll terraform from the other areas, make it look a bit, gentle, make the slope look gentle, and fill up the hole, right? You're taking parts of your life that you really didn't notice in the first part and filling up or like building on top of something that was really bad, aka the creep explosion. So the main takeaway from this, start with something that's very small. In terms of discipline, start with something that's very small, Doesn't have to be something like I do now, recording videos, but make it like a sorting out your wardrobe, Sometimes you could color code it from lightest to darkest, darkest to lightest, Go according to the color spectrum in terms of their wavelengths, etc., 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 and just build on top of that, And doing so, you eliminate the bad habits completely. Now, will it take time? Yes. Good things come to those who wait, but at the same time, not for those who wait too late. And I think that's something we should always live on. You know, you can't expect to grow abs in 5 minutes, right? Although we did fall for that trick as a kid when you knew you were going to, I don't know, like a swimming pool party and you decided you needed abs like within the next 5 minutes. Those won't work unless you did it for, let's say, a whole week. No, a whole month. It seems a bit much more realistic. Did it for a whole month before, you know, you went on a huge cut, get your body fat percentage at like around 10, you start to see abs. Boom, you sold it for the summer. But yeah, this was kind of a topic, or this was one of the topics I do speak passionately about, you know. And I really think that going forward for this channel, I would be speaking on more topics like this. Maybe, you know, doing something in the background while I speak about this. You know, maybe going outside once or twice per video, or once or twice in the week, just to record a video that talks about these subjects. But I hope this video kind of gave you guys an insight on how to, you know, change something that was probably bothering you in life. But as always, I hope you guys had a good day. If not, don't forget, nothing is permanent. Sooner or later, all of your struggles, worries, and woes will eventually fade away. So there's no point in asphyxiating on the negatives. You know, you should surround yourself with positives, and you'll realize that all these negatives you once worried about faded away. Whether that could be a day, 2 days, 10 days, or however long it'll take. Just piece of advice, don't expect it to go within the same day, you know? Give it some leeway and you'll start to see the changes. But as always, that's it from me, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Godspeed.